December 12, 1978. Anthony Taylor, Merrill Historical Society. An interview with Mrs. Bertha Buchholz, who will be 100 years old on December 24th, 1978. Mrs. Buchholz was born in Germany on December 24th, 1878. She came to this country at the age of 3 years old, operating here. And I didn't pronounce that name right. That's Mrs. Bertha Buchholz. Buchholz, yes. I wanted to get that right. And where were you born, Mrs. Buchholz?
In Germany.
In Germany?
Yeah.
And how old were you when you came to this country?
Well, I guess it was a little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years?
A little over 2 years, yeah.
Did you come right here to Pine River?
No. We stopped first at Two Rivers.
At Two Rivers?
Yeah. There my friends had some people they knew. And then from there, I don't know how we got up to Berlin.
Oh, yes.
And there it was 2 years in Berlin. And there my dad, he worked there, and my mother among the farmers. And in the winter time, there was a sawmill. Then they worked in the sawmill, him and one brother. And then when he had 2 years work there, had saved up $200. Then he went to the town of Pine River.
Well, what year was that you arrived? Do you remember? Or?
Yeah, that I can't remember.
You mean in Pine River?
Yeah.
1883, I think.
Well, Two Rivers, let's see, that was 2, 3...
Oh, that would be too long.
4.
She was about...
I must have been 4.5 years.
About 4.5 years old.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know what year that was then.
And where did you live when you arrived here? Do you remember?
What?
Where did you live when you arrived in Pine River?
Well, then my dad, he bought some land. He went out there from the town of Maine. He went to Pine River, and he bought some land, some farmers.
Oh, yes.
Well, there was no people around there.
No.
No roads. No. Only one farmer was living. That was 80 between. There was, and then ours was my father's place. And they had a little logging house. And he thought he could stay with them. And then they said, no. He says, I'm sorry, I can't keep you. We would give you something to eat, but we can't keep you. But he says, we got a nice clean pen there in the barn. If we put beds in there, maybe you can sleep overnight in there. And so we did. And then in the daytime, then he went, him and mother, and cleaned off a place so that he could build a little house there first.
Well.
But the timber was so big and so thick that farmer, he had oxen. When he had a tree cut down, then he had to come and snake them trees in the woods so that they could cut down another one. Otherwise it was too thick. But then he cleared off so much that he could build a little house there. And the little logs, they sawed long enough for a little house. He put the rope together and pulled them together on a pile. And when he had enough, then her brothers, they all came and helped him build the house. Then we moved in there.
Was that at this location, or was it?
That's where we live.
Right here in this location?
In Pine River.
Yeah.
Pine River.
Pine River Road.
Yeah,
Center.
Oh, it was a little bit down from about 6 miles from here. That was
the whole place is still standing now.
It is.
Brick home that they built in 1902.
Well.
It's
and that was in February when they went there. And the snow was so deep. No roads.
No roads.
No roads, no people around at all.
No school?
No school. I didn't get no school.
No.
How many days?
There was a school, it was 4 miles from our place, but then nobody didn't live around there. There was no road through there, so I couldn't go. And in the summertime, well, there was too many animals. Oh, there was so many wild animals, so my dad couldn't let me go to school. Otherwise, then in winter, well, I got 1 week in little school. But then it was so, I got all my fingers sore, both hands, I couldn't work. Then my mother says, now we might just well send to school. So he trampled through the snow, made a track through there, and I just couldn't walk home. The snow went to here. That deep the snow was. So then I went a week. But then I had this sore hand, and I sat in the seat, and I was so anxious I wanted to learn that and tell my folks what I learned. And another girl was sitting there, I had my hand on the seat, and she came back and she sat on there, and I yelled, oh boy. Well, then the teacher, he took me out on the porch when the school was out, and he looked at my finger and he says, you better stay home and don't you come to school before that the finger's healed. You can get blood clotting on there. So then he wrapped it up and tied it up, and he wrote a letter and gave it to my dad. My dad says, oh, you healed it all out before you get married. That was the end.
That was the ending of her school.
That was the end?
That was all my school.
Yeah, then but she had confirmation school.
Yeah, that was all the school I got.
Here, I have a little history if you would like to read this later on.
Okay.
It tells, and they moved over in Pine River in 1883 with sleigh and oxen. They got there.
You arrived here at Pine River in 1883, and you came by oxen, did you? Or sleigh and oxen? Did you have oxen around in those days too?
Yeah.
You had oxen.
A couple of years later, then my dad got oxen.
But this was relatives, I guess.
Now, did you ever get into town once in a while?
There was no town first.
Well,
they said the train went through there, and it was way through, but they want to be up to Hurley.
Oh.
The train.
What did they?
And then when she got through, then it didn't take long. Then they built little log houses so that the train could bring something to eat. For groceries and clothing and for the horses to shoe or oxen to shoe them, all such a buildings together. Then it didn't take long.
How many people were in your family? Did you have some brothers and sisters?
Yeah. Well, that was then my mother got another one when she came here. We was 2 and 10 months apart. Then she was on the ship 6. She was frigate. And then we had 2 there already. And after another 2 years, then she had another one.
Well, how many did you?
I had was 4 girls and 3 boys.
4 girls and 3
boys. That's all. 6 of them.
Mom, no, no, that isn't right, Mom. No.
Yeah, 4 girls and 2 boys.
2 boys. That's for 2 boys.
One sister died when she was 25 years old.
4 girls and
2 boys.
And 2 boys.
Yeah.
And what did you do in the summer months when the snow wasn't so deep?
Oh, then we cleared. We had a clear land.
Clear land.
Yeah.
And did you?
And then when we had so much cleared off already, then my dad had oxen, and then he had to go and help build some buildings by his relation. And we had some oxen, and then he hitched them oxen up and a rope on, and he had a drag made this way, and a post to there, and it was all fixed. And I had a drag among all them sons with the oxen.
Did you ever have to pick up any stones?
Plenty. Yeah, we had plenty of stones to pick. Yeah, that's the way we started the farm.
Yeah.
And you said how Grandpa planted potatoes by the stumps?
Huh?
How Grandpa planted potatoes among the stumps?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, then
and the Indians.
when there was a little room Then he made great big piles, and he put the potatoes all around on that pile. And then when they grew in fall, then, there was such nice big potatoes, white like snow. And when he burned them big piles and logs out, when the coals was down there, then he put some potatoes in them coals. And they taste good. And the piece of herring, God, that tastes good.
Did you ever see any Indians?
Huh?
Did you ever see any Indians?
Oh, yeah. We had plenty. I even played with the Indian girls.
You did? Yeah.
They always came. But then we was up foot already. Then we had a new house, a big long house. Then we had a lot of land already.
Was that?
We was living right by houses in the woods. There was a whole gang of Indians. Nights when they came on, they had all the ponies and the eats on the ponies and the Indians all walked. And they were singing like everything.
They were, huh?
Yeah.
And
it was so nice. And there was one little girl. She always came down in the day, and then she helped me pick stones and haul them away. Yeah. And Mama made the garden. We had to pick the stones and haul them away. She helped me then.
Well, do you remember your first trip to Merrill?
Huh?
Do you remember your first trip to Merrill when you went to Merrill?
Well, they didn't go very often.
No.
You don't remember?
Then after a while, when the town was built up, that was longer and more years than already. And then there was more people all too. It was all cleared up then already. And then we had brick buildings, or frame buildings too already. So then my dad made wood, and he hauled wood to town. And
tell them about the big fire. Merrill.
Yeah, that broke out too. It was that summer. It was so awful dry, and the train went through by Merrill, and that's 8 miles from Merrill to our place.
Merrill? Now what?
Merrill to our place.
8 miles.
Yeah.
And that was about. You don't remember what year that was? The big fire.
No, that I can't remember. Let's see. I was about, I think, 12 years.
About 12 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my father, he bought some more land, and we were clearing there. And then they were breaking out stumps and stones and all. No, it must have been 13. And then when the girls had our dishes washed and everything, then we went ahead and went in the woods and braided some nice leaves. And then made some apron. And my dad and mother, Dad, he always laid on the porch and took a nap, and my mother sat always on the table and took a nap. so we could go and play in the woods so long. And then at once it got so dark, and we were sitting there in the woods, and so dark, and we got out, we thought it was going to rain. And the smoke went all over top. We couldn't smell no smoke. But it was so dark that we hardly couldn't see. And then that came through 8 miles from 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock. It was through them 8 miles over to our place. And that there, when I got married, on our place, there my husband was living there alone, and yet Dad stopped. If it would have been through there, then the whole smear would have went out. Oh, and was that a fire. And then there was the schoolhouse, and on the other side there was a farmer. That farmer took quick the hay rake, where they hauled hay in with the wagon, and picked up all the children and all the people with he, and drove through it on the other road, took them all out. And they left one woman behind. The men was all threshing. It was in September. They was all threshing. And this one woman stayed behind. They didn't pick her up. And she had 3 little children. Now 2 she had on the arms, and 1 had a hole on the right. And that couldn't work. Then she took quicker her apron, tied it on the arm, and dragged it. But that choked. Well, then she had to leave it let that burn. And these 2, she wanted to run down in the river. But she couldn't. But she made it with them too, but that one had to burn.
One burned out.
She pulled off her petticoat and soaked that and stuck that over her head with these 2 little ones and saved herself. Otherwise, everything, birches, everything was gone. All of the timber. Oh, that all fell down after a while.
Did the house burn too?
All the houses.
All the houses burned too.
Animals. Everything burned up.
Oh.
Yeah, my husband, he had that time, he had a couple of cows and a nice fat steer and another cow, and he was going to sell that and save the money to build a new house. They all had log houses 10 years. And they all died.
You mentioned your husband. When did you get married?
Well, we got married when I was 16 years.
When you were 16 years old?
Yeah, we got married.
What was his name? Albert? No.
Carl Buchholz.
Carl.
Carl Buchholz, yeah.
Yeah, he was some of those.
Yeah, there was no girls, and there was so many boys, and they all want to have a wife, and no girls. So they was fighting. So he got the chance that he got me.
Yeah. Well, I think he was pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
Well, we had a big family too. We had nice living, big farm.
And how many acres did you finally develop in your farm? You got married when you were 16 years old.
Well, my husband.
Yeah. How many acres did you?
Oh, he didn't have much claims.
He didn't.
No. See, he was only fresh there too.
Yeah.
But my parents thought, well, he had his own land. And these other ones, they was there too, but they had the old folks to take care of it.
Yeah.
And my mother didn't want that. Then they said, no, they said, you better, if you like this one better, you better take this one.
How many acres did you finally have in your farm?
80 acres.
80 acres.
And then after a while, towards last, we bought another 40 to it.
Oh, yeah.
So we had 140 acres.
And this was all about 8 miles east. Is it all along on 64 or
No, on Center Road.
On Center Road, opposite
Center Road.
Off 64.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that must have been.
Are you acquainted around here?
Not too much, except that I've lived all my life in Merrill too. I'm not too much acquainted with the rural, but I lived in Merrill. Mm-hmm. I was with Trees for the More, if you ever heard that organization, for 31 years. And I used to be advertising manager of the Merrill Daily Herald. Did you remember Walt Chilson? Did you ever know? Did you ever know Walt Chilson?
Oh yeah, they was on the other road.
Oh yeah, was that?
No,
in town.
In town.
In town, Mom. Huh? Walter Chilson was in town.
Oh, that one. No,
yeah.
That I don't know.
Yeah. And did your children, when they came along, they were able to go to school then, when they could go to school, country school, couldn't they?
Ann and Bill and all of those, they went to school then. There were schools then.
Yeah, they all got school. Yeah, they all got school. But no high school.
No high school.
No high school, no.
Do you know where the Miller School is on Center?
Oh, my other sisters and brothers, they got school. I didn't get nothing because I was all alone. And then people that was living there on that corner, well, they had big children, and they didn't go to school, so there was no road through there. It was all wild woods. That's why I didn't get no school.
Did you... Did Myrtle Natsky ever teach school out here, near here? I guess she did at one time.
Myrtle Natsky?
Yeah.
Myrtle Schumacher did.
Oh.
Myrtle Natsky, she could have taught, she taught out here, I think to Fed School.
I think she taught out.
I think she did.
Well, what do you remember about... what kind of entertainment did you have in those days? Did you have any dances or picnics or things like that to amuse yourself?
No, we didn't.
You did
Mom, your dances, where you danced to Pa when you played
what?
When Pa played the mouth organ, you had dances.
Oh,
yeah.
Just the two of them in the houses.
In the house.
Oh, yeah, by ourselves in a house. Yeah, and then nice big yard, and then the whole bunch always came up there. They had a lot of fun there.
No, you. That was us.
Yeah.
No, but you.
Well,
What you danced. When Pa used to come and play the mouth organ, when he used to play at the dances, you would dance. The young folks would get together in the house.
yeah, but not too much. No, then it was too quiet, and they didn't have so much. See, there wasn't enough people around.
No. Well, it must have been awful lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Because,
a lot of stones to pick.
Yeah, I remember.
A lot of drums to break out.
Yeah.
Everything like that.
We used to pick stones at Barrett's farm when I was in, in grade school, or I guess about 7 years old. We got 75 cents a day in an orange. So that was our pay at that. That was the pay at that time. Well, what do you think of things today? Did you compare today with 1883? Now, 1883 was the year she was married, if I remember right. No. 1883 is the year that you arrived here in Pine River. I wanted to get that date right, so I didn't get confused.
Married in 1895.
And you were married in 1895.
Yeah,
That's
I can't remember.
yeah.
It's in there. See, we have a family.
Yeah, we have a family.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, and there's a lot of information in there.
Well,
if for dates and things, and there's a little history at the back. My daughter looked up.
Oh.
And we have the coat of arms.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
And the for the Rankin, the Buchholz and the Heinemann.
Well.
And she is making family trees for all of us.
Well, isn't that something? Now that's
priceless gifts of history.
That's really the ultimate in historical records, because
sure, maybe you'd like to take a look and make a copy of it.
I can make a copy of that with a Xerox on it, because
and here are the maps. Here was where she was born. It was actually it was little Rheinleistigo in Pommern, but it was a part. It was here. Pommern is there, but at the time, I guess when that map was, it was supposed to be part of Poland instead of Germany. There's a couple maps here, and she explained it is something explained in this history here. Yeah, and you said she could pull up.
This is really the family tree, and
and it has way down to the descendants.
Study of
both sides.
Yes.
And then if you want a few of these dates, now like Mother told you about before when they came over here, she maybe doesn't get it exactly like she told it before, but it happened that way, like that cast stone. And when the parents, over here, the history, the parents went out and made a home, and they put boughs over it for the winter to keep the storm out so that they could live. And there was a cheese factory on that corner, and that's where they dumped their belongings. But there was no home. No buildings, just an old cheese factory.
Well, I was quite interested. And the
that was in 1883. They moved up here to
Slay and Oxen. Well, that's.
Would you like to take
yes,
along?
And then I'll return it to you.
Yes.
What I'll do with this, I'll get some of the facts out of this, and then I can add to it. So because there's no use of me trying to get repeating the same material, but this will be on the tape here, so that we have this on the tape, and that it will be a permanent record. So I can go through this material and add to it as I go along.
Or if she made a mistake, she said this was in a paper up there.
In our paper.
And now she's probably got that little wrong too, because she was very young at the time. See, in 1881, it says Jenny was changed to the name of Merrill, so it was Jenny then. But from the time that she remembers it.
Do you remember the first time that you ever went to Merrill?
Huh?
Do you remember how old you were the first time that you ever went to Merrill?
We never went to Merrill.
No.
No, they didn't take us so long.
Well, when you grew up a little bit, or when you grew up later on.
No. I can't remember that he did it. But one year, he was going to take us to a circus once. And they was shingling on a house on a porch, and he says, if we get the shingling done today, then tomorrow we're going, there's a circus coming in, and he said, we're going to come in. But then I got sick, and we didn't get there.
Well, that was
the end of it.
Unfortunate, because we all remember how important Merrill, at least.
I have something that I think would be nice.
No, we didn't do it.
Yes.
When we were kids, my parents always went to town with they used to haul their own milk to the cheese factory, and they had a high buggy with big wheels, and there was a box on there. And Livingston's was a store that I could remember. That was from way back, That was one of the first stores, and it's still there yet. And that was where our parents shopped. They'd take us to the back of Livingston's in this hay wagon, or this milk wagon, with straw. And all the kids were piled in that could go along to town, maybe if we needed shoes or something. We'd sit in there, and we had to wait until they did their shopping. They did all their shopping at Livingston's. They had groceries at that time. It was a general store. And they had horse stalls out back, horse barns, where they put the buggies and the horses, they tied them up. That's when we were. Then it still was that quaint.
Was the fellow by the name of Boots still
Yes.
working?
Oh, yeah.
He used to come out and visit with me.
He was a grand friend of ours. They visited until just a few years before he died.
So,
yes, they always came out to our house.
Livingston used to come out and
he did.
he always said Dad had the prettiest farm in the neighborhood.
And I believe that the parents wouldn't take her to town because when you were kids,
Then we got to go.
Very
Their seldom,
parents
though.
wouldn't take her to town.
No, And here, you just like to see, that was when the first child was 6 months old. That's mother, and that's dad, and that's
what a nice
This was the family. It was taken in 1922. So then it got a little bit better, they did things. But otherwise, before that, there wasn't much record. And that is the back of the home, this building. Is from the back. It was built in 1902, and that was the second home that they built. This was a brick home, and that one is still standing. This home. Well, it was taken in 1938.
Their first house was a one-room log cabin.
That she mentioned
with
that.
bunks.
Yes, and
But when
for
she
the
got married,
first, when she got married, even. Sure, they lived in just a
one room log.
And what
house.
kind of a stove, Mom, did you say you had? You had a heater in the middle of the room, and then you just stuck the pipe up through the top. Is that what you told us?
The
heater. The heater to keep warm.
The stove.
In your house. Was it just a thing in the middle of that room? You had mentioned it was so cold in that house because it...
Yeah, we didn't have no furnace. We just had a house, big heater in a dining room. And in the kitchen there was a...
No, that isn't... This is in the old log house.
Oh.
Just in your little shack.
when you were first married.
The little log house. Before you
where we was in first?
Yeah.
Well, we had a little stove in there. We had it. And then the uncle, he brought us another little heater yet. So that we couldn't, it was warm enough. See, the cracks, they sucked out the brush that the wind couldn't blow through. And I had to sit and always dry that old wood in the bake oven so that it burned better in the cook stove. And then Uncle brought us a little heater. Then my dad didn't have to get up so often in the night. Otherwise he had to keep up firing all the time.
Now, where do you live now? Do you stay at Pelican Lake part of the time, or this?
He lives there all the time.
Huh?
He lives there all the time.
Oh, you live all the time in Pelican Lake now. Is that it?
Yeah. I'm there. No, it's 30 years already, isn't it?
Since
1946.
My husband
Since
died.
1946, you lived at
in her own home.
in alone? You don't still live alone, do you? Alone?
Yes, I was
She
alone.
makes her own garden.
Yeah?
I wrote a bill, and she was the first one that had a planting in this spring.
I
Well.
was 10 years on the farm after my husband died.
Yeah.
But then my
46.
son left me, and then Rudy came the last year yet. Well, then he should buy it, and he didn't want it. I know that there was something up. And then he says, no, he says, no, you better sell it to a stranger. So then I had to sell it to somebody else. Then I went up to Pelican here.
That was 1946?
46.
Well, you lived on the farm here until 1946.
Yeah.
Then you moved to Pelican.
Yeah.
Was that before or after your husband died?
Yeah.
Well, he died in 36.
Oh, in 36.
He died church.
36.
But I was 10 years on the farm.
Oh,
then, yeah.
yeah.
No, and then I couldn't find no place, so then through my daughter, she got this. She went up there, and she was married too, and her, she was only married 5 years. Her husband died, and she was so lonesome. Then she says, "Mom, she said, I gotta go in the children's home. I can't stand them." And she came up. They was gonna buy that when her husband was living. He had a skull fracture, but then that man wouldn't sell. And then after a while, the next year, he got sick, he got a stroke. Now he couldn't do nothing. Then he sold the place. And then I got one daughter up in Pelican there. And then she came up and visited them. And then she went back again from there. She called, she said, "Ma, I got a place for you." I says, "Where's that?" She says, "Oh, up at Pelican." I says, "Up at Pelican? What should I do in Pelican? I don't know nobody there, and I can't drive my car or nothing. What should I do there?" Well, she says, "But I think it's a good place."
This was the side number 2, December 12th, 1978, M.N. Taylor. Now, we'll just ask you a few more questions, and then we'll let you,
Question, just what it says. Don't tell him. Give him the facts.
so you can, now you had you had in all 7 children, if I remember right. I'm trying to no.
She had 11.
You had 11 children.
Yeah.
Yes.
11 children. And
Five from my
well, that's
dad already.
yeah. And what are you going to do to commemorate your 100th birthday? Are you going to have a celebration? Are you going to? It isn't on December 24th, isn't it? Isn't that her birthday?
Yes.
Are you going to have a party?
Tell him. We all come for dinner.
Well, the children that's living there maybe all come. Yes,
Yeah.
but all.
How many children are living in there?
6 girls.
6 girls are.
Yeah. 2 girls and 3 boys are there.
And where are they located? Are they scattered or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start from Ann. Tell me, where's
And it's in Pelican.
Spring
Valley.
Spring
Valley.
That's the oldest one.
That's near Reedsburg, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest,
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
South of Eclair.
and the rest are all around here.
They're all around. Do you all you folks live around here or?
3 or
Loretta and Leona's from Merrill, and
2 from Merrill, the
Lily
others are
and Marge and Adeline, they're Pelican.
You're from Merrill?
She is only about 75 feet.
Yeah. You're from
one
Merrill.
that called you.
And Leona.
And another one.
Whatever. She lives out just on
I'll call you Trump P.
Trump Peak. She lives out in the country.
Well, now there's one final question. You know, I was interviewing a man in Chicago one time when I was working down there, and I asked him what he would do. He was a real old gentleman, I guess about 80 or 90. I asked him what he would do if he had his life to live over again. And he was smoking a pipe. And he told me, he said, if I had to live my life over again, I would have parted my hair in the middle. Now, do you have any answer to that question? What would you do different if you had to live your life over again?
What do you think you want? Maybe she hasn't thought that.
No. Well, I guess you don't have to do the same thing, huh?
Oh, I won't live with those women anymore.
No.
He means, if you had a chance to live it over, would you change anything that you did? Would you like your life different?
No, I think I would
satisfied.
like the way it is.
Well, that's a good conclusion to our interview.